Welcome, Deviant drivers and race fans. This is Relegation Race number 3, where we once again will determine who moves up and hangs on to the GTD Pro spots and who moves down or remains in the regular GTD League. It's a fight for survival today as we're coming to you live from West Kingstown, United Kingdom, about an hour southeast of London, at the beautiful and famous Brands Hatch Raceway. If you keep going southeast for another 20 minutes, you'll find another famous tourist location. And that is the birthplace of GTD Pro driver and karate tortoise Larry. Originally used as a grass track motorsports circuit, it has hosted 12 runnings of the British Grand Prix between 1964 and 1986, and currently hosts many British international racing events. The venue is owned and operated by Jonathan Palmer's Motorsports Vision organization. And excuse my pronunciation coming up here, but the name is thought to be derived from the Gaelic words Bron, meaning wooded slope, and Hatch, meaning entrance to the forest. So Brands Hatch effectively means sloped wooded entrance into the forest, which is an apt name given all the elevation changes that Brands Hatch has to offer. Medium tires will be required for today's race, which means there will be at least one pit stop. Figuring out when to make that stop and how much fuel to put in will be a major factor in today's results. The pit at Brands Hatch is one of the fastest in Gran Turismo 7, so how much time each car sits refueling will be a major factor in today's results. Let's take a look at each of our drivers here today. First up, we have Bong It. You're welcome. First up, we have Bong It, one of the top contenders, I believe, for today's results. I've been watching him warm up all day, this morning at least, and his times have been quite strong, so I expect him to have a good result here today. He is a new member of the Racing League from the GTD division, member of Team Universal, number 80, Bong It. Izzy is our next on the list. He is a GTD Pro driver. He's a new member and a teammate of Chaotica on Team Cannonball this past season. Number 182 is Izzy. If anybody's going to win today, I think it might be Izzy. He has an incredible pace. He just has to get that consistency down. It's something he's struggled with this past season. He's been able to hang with the pack for the beginning of the race, but generally fades back as the race progresses, consistency being his struggling point. Can he find it today? Next racer on the list is Chaotica. Number 24, captain of Team Cannonball, and going against his teammate Izzy today. Will he be able to find the pace to stay in GTD Pro? Given he's crossed out the Pro from his bumper, his sticker on the back of his car there, it's possible that he doesn't think he's going to make it, but I think he can make it. He's definitely got the pace in my opinion. Our next driver is Preston. This is his second official appearance in the relegation race. I forgot to mention Izzy is also in his second appearance. Izzy was in the last relegation race as well, getting promoted at that time and is now back in relegation trying to hold on. But Preston is also in his second appearance. He's had a rough past season. Part of me is beginning to wonder if he also thinks he belongs in pro at this point, or if he thinks he doesn't. But here's to hoping he has a strong race and can prove all the doubters wrong. All hail Preston. The carpool for today is the Porsche, the Genesis, the McLaren, and the Lexus. It looks like most of our drivers have opted for the Porsche as of standards, with Preston being the only driver in the Genesis so far. Bong It has opted for the Porsche, Chaotica has opted for the Porsche, and you can't see it here, but there on the side is Izzy has also opted for the Porsche. We appear to be missing a driver at the moment. We are missing Astonishing or Dollars Per Win. He has not made it into the lobby yet. Hopefully he can get here soon, otherwise he will, I suppose, have to forfeit. That'll make it definitely easier for the other drivers on the road to claim a spot today, as Astonishing had a strong chance to be a top 3 finisher today as well. The past 2 relegation races have been fairly cut and dry with who advanced and who stayed behind, but will today be different? Oh, he's still putting his number on. Okay, at least we know he is on the way and isn't going to miss today's race. I appreciate that information, Danny. The field gets closer every single time we do these relegation races. So today should be very competitive. Oh, there he is. There's Astonishing joining the lobby. The track record at Brands Hatch is 50.4 seconds. I don't think there's any fear of that being broken today. The lap average is roughly about 125 to 127, depending on tire wear. So it should be roughly about 20 to 21 laps, somewhere in that ballpark. 21 probably is the likelihood. As far as rain goes today, this track cannot have rain. One of the few tracks that is just one of the many tracks in Gran Turismo 7 that cannot have rain. We, as usual, will have live racing stewards, so in the event of a wreck today, we will have a safety car and we will slow down and relegate those races. We have another non-Porsche on the track. The Lexus looks like it's also going to make an appearance. We have 3 different cars, the Porsche, the Genesis, and the McLaren, all being represented today. Sorry, not the McLaren, the Porsche, the Genesis, and the Lexus. The McLaren is the odd man out, will not be represented today. All racers today must drive on at least medium tires. It looks like a bunch of people are interested in trying to get those softs as well, so we may have some racing split between the mediums and the soft tires. I imagine pretty soon here we will begin our qualifying time, and as we are doing qualifying, we will pick a racer and do our laps around the track, and I will call out the corners as we go around. Right now we're just waiting for qualifying to begin, so I will take a brief pause until that begins. I've just been informed we have about 2 minutes to go until safety car. I should do a lap guide using the safety car. Yeah, I would love to do a lap guide. Would like to do one under pace though instead of the safety car, so I'm going to wait until qualifying and just do a pace lap. Thanks, Clovis. I appreciate that. I really give it a try. It looks like we have about 1 or 2 minutes until the race begins. I've been told 11 p.m. is the deadline, so it's about 1 or 2 minutes to go. We'll just watch Izzy here in the cockpit view as he does the lap, as we're waiting for qualifying to begin. I'm excited for today's race. I'm hoping we have a surprise result. I already have who I think will be the top 3 finishers. I'm going to not reveal that to anybody at the moment. I don't want to jinx anybody, but I do think I have a good call for who I think will finish top 3. I definitely think Izzy has the ability to win this race today. He is quite aggressive. He just has to find that consistency and pace. And if he can get out ahead and hold that lead, I think he has a good, strong chance to win today's race. I wouldn't bong it behind. He is definitely running a very quick pace today. Definitely wouldn't count out Chaotica, who has definitely something to prove today. Being the longest termed member in today's race, he's been a pro member since the league began, so for him to fall out of GTD Pro would be a major thing here. Qualifying has begun. We are about to commence our outlaps here. Let's stick with Bong It as we go around the track. Pull out of the pits onto the Brabham Straight. I believe that's what that's called, into Paddock Hill Bend, turn 1, up the hill into the corner affectionately known as Druids. You want to hold that inside line, get a good run, get a good acceleration. Now it looks like nobody is quite going up to pace yet, so everybody's just kind of taking a slow little outlap here. Down around Graham's Hill Bend, turn 3 of the course, down the Cooper Straight, up into Surtees. This is one of the more difficult corners of the track with that long uphill section. It's just very difficult to get a good run out of that corner into the straight, but very important. This section is known as Pilgrim's Drop. down Hawthorne Hill into Hawthorne Bend, one of the faster corners. How fast you can take this corner is really going to be a major factor on your speed through the rest of the course. Down Derek Minter Straight into Westfield Bend, and down the Dingle Dell, as this is affectionately known, into Sheen Curve. This is my favorite corner of the track, cutting that inside right there. You can maintain so much speed if you do it just correct. This left turn is affectionately known as Sterling's, and this straight is affectionately known as the Clearways. Leading into Clark Curve. Both? There's two going on? What is both? Is there two streams going on? What's going on? I'm trying to catch up with what chat is talking about. We got 20 people viewing today. That's probably most of the league. That's fantastic. So everyone is now done their outlap and is going for time here. Oh, Formula One race. Okay, fantastic. And again, down the Grams Hill Bend into Cooper Straight. Let's see what kind of times these gentlemen can set on the first pace lap on these soft tires. Everyone doing a relatively slow outlap, trying to preserve the tires, maybe trying to see if they can get 2 fast, quick laps on them. Yes, those front-engine rear-wheel drive vehicles are going to have a couple slippery exits on these corners. That oversteer could definitely be a problem as they try to exit. Bongett approaching Sheen's Curve here and coming down into Sterling's. I don't know if Bongett has set quite the lap time that he was looking to set. He was quite a bit more aggressive in practice earlier today. We'll see who has the fastest laps as they come around. Chaotica currently with the 1:25.1. That is pretty good set pace time. Looks like Izzy is a 10th behind. Bongett just barely behind him. 5 thousandths of a second behind Izzy's time. Preston currently riding 4th with Astonishing currently in 5th. Let's follow Chaotica, our current pace setter. Now I wonder if he's going to be competitive with his previous lap's time on the first go-round, or if he is going to need to do one of the... he's just opted to just pit and immediately begin. He's not going to do the quick pit, no fuel run attempt, as does happen a lot of times in GTD. GTD Pro Racing. People will do one lap and they'll do another lap. They'll come in, they'll put on new tires, no fuel, and they'll just go out again to get advantage of that low fuel. Looks like Chaotica opted not to do that. Let's see. Izzy's got a penalty. Izzy hops back in the pits. Let's see if Bongett takes advantage of that opportunity to jump into the pits and get a quick stop. We got outlaps for Izzy and Chaotica. Let's see what Bongett does here. He is going to pit, get those fresh tires and low fuel. Try to see if he can beat Chaotica's time, which is 90 thousandths of a second behind. The top 3 are all very, very close to one another. Outlaps currently still going on here. Astonishing didn't pit. Looks like he is just going to keep going. That's a great question, Glovis. Personally, I'm not sure. I probably would have stuck with either the Porsche or maybe tried to make the McLaren work, just because I personally favor the MR cars. I have difficulty with the FR cars in general, so I probably would have tried to favor one of those cars, although I have had difficulty with the Porsche since the changes. I don't know if it's better since the nerf or not, but I think I probably would have tried to make the McLaren work. I know the McLaren definitely struggled this past season, but I do think it's still a fast car. It just has to be driven in a little bit different way and really take advantage of its low fuel usage. Is anybody out on a main lap here? Looks like Chaotica has just begun a real lap after his jump back into the pits. He's going to see if he can beat his previous fastest lap of 1:25.1, which is quite respectable, I must say. We got about 4 minutes left in qualifying. These guys are probably going to get at least one more lap, good lap in, maybe two if they really push it fast. Oh, Kayatka cut that corner quite a bit. He might incur a penalty for that one. Yep, that kind of invalidates the whole fastest lap attempt. Kayatka's going to jump back to the pits and try again. Izzy currently trying to beat Kayatka's fastest lap. Is on a main pass. What is he doing? Oh, he's 0.3 faster. Can he hold this lap through the rest to take the pole position? Pole position is probably going to matter pretty considerably, given that these Porsches have such a slow start off the line. I'd be curious if the Lexus or the Genesis are able to just blow them out off the starting line and become, you know, blockers essentially for the faster Porsches of Bonget, Kayatka, and Preston, who may all fall behind here to start the race. Let's see if Izzy is able to beat Kayatka's time. Yes, just barely. By a tenth. Sets the new fastest lap of 1:25.032. Bonget is also finishing up his attempt at another fastest lap. Good to know, Danny. Thanks for that information. The Genesis appears to be the fastest car off the line. We'll see how that shakes out as the race begins. Not sure if Bonget's on pace or not. Let's see what he does here. It could be close. Yes. No. Personal fastest time. Appreciate that info, Danny. Bonget is still just behind. Still with the third best time. Still just behind Izzy. Set a personal best, but it was not able to set a new fastest lap. Kayatka is going to try to set a new fastest lap. He's got a little traffic in front of him. Hopefully Preston can get some pace so that Kayatka doesn't catch him and is forced to slow down. Yes, Kayatka could qualify in last place and grab it at turn one. Although currently Preston has the fastest lap, so that is incredible. I didn't even see that. 1:24.7, what a time. That's about 0.3 faster than the previous fastest time set by Izzy. Preston wants to make a statement today, I think. I do belong in the Pro League. I am going to stay. It's all the car's fault. It wasn't my fault. I'm coming to get you. All hail Preston. What a great lap. Looks like he's trying another one here. Oh, Bonget pulls off. Kayatka's still following Preston. What are the splits here? Is he going to have an opportunity to get fastest lap? We got about 1 minute left in qualifying. Personal best, but not quite. He does move up into second place above Izzy, but still 37 thousandths behind Preston. Wow, the splits today are so close. Today should be a fantastically close race. Astonishing is the only odd man out, being half a second behind the pace, but everybody else, Bonget's also 0.4 behind the pace. Izzy 0.3 behind the pace. Everybody within a tenth at least, or not a tenth, sorry, within about a half a second. So I think today should be very competitive. I believe all racers have an opportunity to be in the top three today. I don't think we're going to have any blowouts like we had in the last relegation race. This should be a real exciting one. I'm hoping for a good, clean race. Hopefully we won't have to have the stewards come out today. We'll have some good, competitive, clean racing. I know Bonget and Astonishing clearly saw a lot of each other this past season in GTD, finishing 2 and 3 respectively. They both want to prove that they have what it takes to make the GTD Pro League. Very much responsible for their teams finishing in such strong results today, or this season. On Team Chameleon and Universal, very much responsible for their teams doing so well in the team results. Looks like qualifying is wrapping up now. Preston with the fastest lap and pole position in the Genesis, too. If his car is the fastest off the line and he's in pole position, he's going to have a great start to this race. Can he hold on when the pressure begins? That'll be the question for today. As the Porsches begin to creep up on him as the race progresses, will he be able to hold on? Will he fold? The tension is building. The race is about to begin, folks. I'm excited. This may be good news for Webo as well. I've discovered if you have this keyboard set up and you hit G, you get different camera angles. You can just keep mashing G and you get the same thing, but it jumps positions on the cameras. So if you don't like what you got, you can grab another one, or attempt to at least. I know he was having some trouble at Catalunya getting those camera angles that he wanted, so that might help him in the future. I discovered that today, just messing around with the keyboard. It looks like everybody is just kind of waiting for the timeout to time out here. Everybody is done with their qualifying. Saito, the safety car, sitting in the pits. We've got about another minute until this time's out. We're just going to sit pretty here and just wait, and we will pick it back up when the flag is about to drop. About 40 seconds, folks. We'll be right back. All right, Deviant drivers and racing fans, we are about to begin. Preston has set the qualifying pole position with a 1:24.7 fantastic time. Chaotica just behind him at 37 thousandths of a second for the second place position. Izzy 3/10 behind for the third place position. Bong an exactly perfect 4/10 behind Preston for the fourth place position. And Astonishing bringing up the rear in the Lexus 5/10 behind. We should be dropping the clutch and going and going and going any minute now. That was my Webo reference. Oh, here we go. The race is about to begin. All right. False start is in effect. Five red lights, and go! Preston, as expected, gets the jump off the start in the pole position, followed by a Chaotica, and Izzy moves back into third. As they come up into Druids, Chaotica defends, so it looks like he's giving up the inside position a little bit. Izzy is looking to make a move early. Preston is beginning to form a gap, almost a second already, just from that launch. As they go up the hill through Surtees and down the Pilgrim's Drop through Hawthorne Hill. It is Preston followed by a Chaotica, Izzy, Bong, and Astonishing. A nice pack of racing here. Let's see what tires everybody is on. Looks like Preston has begun the race on the mediums, probably electing to finish either on another set of mediums or on a set of softs. Looks like softs are on the table today. Chaotica also on the mediums today. Starting to begin the race. Izzy, not surprising, comes out on the softs, wanting to try to establish position early. He's going to be fighting at Chaotica's heels through this whole beginning stint until his tires begin to give up. The race is 30 minutes long today as we complete lap one. 30 minutes, it should be roughly 20 to 21 laps. I'm betting on 21 just based on the pace that these racers are going to have today. Izzy cuts the inside of the corner on turn 1 a little bit. Still looking to make a move on former teammate Chaotica. There's going to be a fight among the Cannonball drivers, I think, for second position for most of the beginning of this race. At least until Izzy's tires begin to fade. Those softs will not last that long. But they only have to last long enough to make the mediums last till the end. We'll join Izzy on board behind Chaotica. Ooh, who cuts the corner? Chaotica very slow out of that corner. Very slow out of Westfield Bend. Oh, sorry, that was Hawthorne Bend. He screwed up into Westfield Bend. He is still side by side with Izzy. Izzy trying to take him on the outside. Oh, Izzy runs off into the grass. Chaotica did as well. Both cars off into the grass. Chaotica loses a position. Izzy loses multiple positions. That's going to be really hard on Izzy to recover with those quickly wearing soft tires. That is not what he wanted to happen at all. Trying to make the move around Chaotica. Let's see if we can see that again. Oh, looks like we just missed it in the buffer. Sorry, I forgot I could do replays there for a moment. Astonishing moves up into 4th. Chaotica has fallen back into 3rd, and Deviant has claimed the 2nd position. Preston has now established a 3-second lead. All he has to do is put his head down and drive. There's so much battling going on behind him that he is just getting all kinds of advantage and clean air here on the front of the track. Up Surtees, balling it on another fastest lap on lap 3. Preston with the current fastest lap of 1:25.5. I believe everyone is going to be pushing real hard at this point. Oh no, Chaotica fell back again. What happened? Chaotica, lost it, spun out off the track into last place. Goodness gracious. Chaotica has fallen way back. He has got a lot of work to do. Izzy is also fallen back a little bit behind Astonishing, trying to hold on with these soft tires that are quickly fading. Had 2 wrecks, and I basically missed both of them in the replay buffer. I apologize for that. I didn't catch Chaotica's until well after it happened. It is all disaster for Chaotica now. He has got 15 seconds to catch up to the leaders, 9 seconds to catch up to Izzy. He's really going to have to try to save fuel, I think, in order to catch up this time in the pits. Is really his. Either he's going to have to just drive like a madman, or he's going to have to use the pits to try to regain some of that time. Izzy all over Astonishing, trying to find the inside line. I'm surprised with the amount of people off track. We haven't had a racing stewards today. Izzy and Chaotica's first initial contact almost qualified for that, but Izzy is trying to find a way around Astonishing here. Tries to grab the inside position. Oh, it looks like some contact. Oh, they hold it just barely. That was real close. Izzy desperately trying to find a way past Astonishing so he can catch up to the other 3 drivers. Trying to grab that inside position. I'm seeing a little bit of lag, and Astonishing looks like he's off the track into the grass. Izzy has completed the pass. I don't know if that was a bump and run. They were really trying to be as clean as they could side by side there through the Sheen curve. It was dangerous stuff. I'm just a couple seconds late in the buffer every time. So Astonishing moves into 4th on the heels of Izzy now, who is probably struggling with those soft tires that are quickly beginning to give out on him. Astonishing retakes the position as Izzy is unable to hold the corner around Druids. See Bung it up ahead there. Let's check in with Preston. Still has a 2-second lead as he was going up Surtees there. Sorry, I can't remember the names. I have to keep looking over to remind myself what all these corner names are called. As he approaches Hawthorne's Bend, he's still about 1.8 seconds ahead of Deviant, who is quickly closing that gap. Astonishing, about 4 seconds behind Deviant, with Izzy still all over him in the rearview mirror. Chaotica has managed to catch up a few seconds behind Astonishing and Izzy as they've been battling. He's picked up about 3 seconds of time, only about 6.5 behind. Astonishing off the track again, going wide through Sheen's corner. Let's go ahead and catch that again. What happened to Astonishing here? Tries to clip the inside, just not enough, off into the grass. That is unfortunate. Losing more time. Izzy into the pits. Our first pit stop of the day. Curious what he will do with his fuel. Medium tires are the obvious choice, being the requirement here. He is going to no fuel it. That's very interesting. Another set of soft tires and a no fuel. Okay, so he's running a double stint of soft tires, and he will come in for the mediums and a fuel stint later. Let's see if that pays off for him. That's awfully risky. It is a very fast pit stop here, so very little time lost, but any time lost in the pits is a lot of time lost in the pits. Chaotica's still trying to catch up, has made up a little bit more time on Astonishing. About another half second. Deviant has lost some time to Preston. Who continues to extend that gap up to 2.5 seconds now. Sorry, 2.2 seconds. Just barely holding on to the lead here. As we approach the, almost the 10-minute mark of the race, almost about a third of the race complete. 7 laps, third of the race. Yep, we're looking at about 21 laps. As originally predicted. Hey, Webbo, nice to see you. We're having a quite exciting race here today. Things were a little tighter to begin with. They have separated out a little bit. Preston has managed to maintain the lead here with a 3.2 second gap on Deviant, who has a 4.6 second lead on Astonishing, who is being caught by Chaotica, who is at 1.9 seconds behind Astonishing after wrecking and going off the track, has managed to catch up to just under 6 seconds. And Izzy is pulling up the rear, having made the only pit stop so far today, trying a double soft tire stint with no refueling. He is starting to gain back on Chaotica. He's at least trying for that fastest lap. Fortunately, fastest lap won't mean much today. The order is basically inverted from kind of what I expected to happen today. But way to go, Preston, so far, holding on to the lead, not letting that gap increase or really decrease with Deviant, just keeping a nice, good pace. Deviant has, at a couple times, managed to kind of reel him in and then kind of fall behind again. But Deviant really wants to grab that first place position. Remember, the top 3 drivers, I believe it's the top 2, sorry, the top 2 drivers will go into GTD Pro. The bottom 3 drivers will all go into GTD. You definitely want those first 2 positions. Arcane, having already claimed one of the GTD Pro spots, being first place in the GTD series this past season. Preston's managed to increase that gap again. I'm not sure exactly where on the track Preston is improving and losing time, but he has managed to keep improving that gap on Deviant as the laps go by. Up to 2.5 seconds now. He is driving like a madman. Way to go, Preston. Oh, Chaotica has managed to reel in Astonishing up to 4 seconds now, with Izzy still about 3 seconds behind him. It is quite a spread field. I was honestly expecting a lot more head-to-toe driving. The field has spread, but we haven't really come into our first real pit stop of the race, minus Izzy, who is doing a double soft stint. Just a double medium stint or a medium soft stint may be the way to go today. Those pits are quick, but just, that's still a lot of time you've got to make up on the track, and I don't know if the soft tires are really good enough to make up that time. You know, even, 15, 20 seconds in the pits, that's still, 15, 20 laps if in a second a lap, so. Izzy making the interesting strategy choice today. We'll see if it pays off in the end. Once these guys start to really come in for their real pit stop, Izzy may pit with them and just try to use any advantage that he's been able to glean from using these soft tires at that moment. Things remain quiet as we go around the lap here. Let's join Preston, our race leader, with a 2.7 second gap as he heads down Hawthorne Hill into the Hawthorne Bend, into Derek Minter Straight, sorry, and then into the Westfield Bend, into the Dingle Dell. What a hilariously named section of track this is. Into Sheen's Curve, as I mentioned, my favorite corner on the track. I really do like Brands Hatch. It is one of my personal favorite tracks to race on. We haven't been here in a while, but the last time we raced, I believe I had a second or a third place finish. Around Sterling's, into the clearways, and down to Clark's Curve. As we approach the 13-minute mark in the race and begin lap 10. Preston's times are quite consistent, 25s and 26s the whole way around. Bongett is equally on pace, pretty much matching Preston's pace exactly, having their gap being pretty much identical since it's formed. Astonishing has managed to fall back a bit from Bongett down to 7 seconds and has been caught up by Kayatica, only 2.5 seconds roughly behind. Kayatica has managed to reel him in, but he still has a lot of work to do if he wants to get second place and remain in GTD Pro. You can see Izzy on the camera down there in the bottom right corner, only 1.6 seconds behind and clearly in view as they head up Surtees. Those soft tires are beginning to fade again. The mediums are down to about the same point as the second set of soft tires. So it really remains to be seen if Izzy will gain any advantage from his pit strategy today. Astonishing's mediums are almost completely shot on this Lexus that he's driving today, the front engine rear-wheel drive Lexus. That front left tire is going to just gets chewed up on these kind of cars on such a predominantly right cornering track. It's possible Astonishing may come into the pits here, and he does. Decides to get a new set of tires. We'll see what he does as Kayatica goes by and takes third place. Bongett's tires are holding out a little bit better with that front medium wear, and Preston's tires are also hanging on quite well, actually. Quite a bit better than Astonishing's were at this point in the race. Doing a great job, Preston, in maintaining your tire life. Very good job. Bongett has managed to reel in him down to just under 2 seconds. Imagine both of these drivers will probably pit either on this or the next lap. If it was me, I would go with another set of mediums till the end here, splitting the race between two sets of medium tires. Astonishing now 18 seconds after pitting. He put on a medium tire, pair of mediums, and filled up about 3/4 of the tank. That's as much as he feels he needs to make about another roughly 10 laps of race. As we just crossed the halfway mark. Does Preston pit? Yes, he does. Does Bongett pit? No. Bongett stays out for another lap. Preston's tires were actually in slightly better condition than Bongett, so this should be interesting to see how this pans out. Looks like Kayatica is also going to pit. Everybody cutting that right-hand corner. That's perfectly legal. Let's see if Astonishing is able to regain second position with Preston and Kayatica in the pits. How much fuel is Preston going to put in? Oh, Preston brims the tank to 100. I don't know if that was necessary. And just ahead of Astonishing. He manages to come out of the pits. How much Bongit fuels on his pit stop will really probably determine who takes first place here. Since Preston did fill up the tank, I really don't know if that was necessary. He did not run the tank dry on his first stint, and Astonishing opted for just 3/4 of a tank. Preston may definitely have overfilled the gas tank here. Kanika also just over 3/4 of a tank, a little bit more than Astonishing put in, but definitely less than Preston put in. Trying to see if he can catch up to the pack here. I imagine Bongit is going to be definitely pitting at the end of this lap. Izzy also came in and finally grabbed his set of medium tires, also to 3/4 of a tank of gas. So it looks like Preston is the only person to have brimmed the tank on their pit stop. Will that come back to bite him after a brilliant begin to the race? Bongit, no, opts to stay out for another lap. This is dangerous stuff here with that front right tire beginning to fade. His pace is already off his standard. He's usually, with a 27 and a 28 in the previous 2 laps, he is definitely starting to drive slower on these quickly wearing medium tires. Any advantage that he may gain from staying out is going to be, and potentially short fueling these last laps may be lost here from just time lost on these poor wearing tires. Preston comes around. He's out of his outlap. In second place, still with the GTD Pro locked in. Preston is pushing hard, but I don't think he didn't use the full tank of gas on his first stint, even in first place, so that would just beg to reason that he did not need a full tank for the second stint here, which should be at least 1 lap less than his first. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Bongit has to fuel, or has to pit on this lap. We'll see if Preston is able to catch up with him. 21 seconds behind and quickly gaining. Astonishing, only about 2 seconds behind Preston. Izzy about 4 seconds behind him. Kayatica 2 seconds behind Izzy. And Bongit jumps into the pits. I think Preston will have the opportunity to overtake him while he's in the pits here. It will be close. Bongit is now filling up with fuel. Let's see how much fuel he takes. I imagine Bongit has calculated this down to the least amount of bit. 68%. He's going to come out just behind Preston. Oh, and Astonishing just barely gets ahead of him. Bongit just under 3/4 of fuel, just about 70% of fuel, just under. I believe he's probably calculated that down to the least amount he could possibly. The top 3 are all within striking distance at this point, as Izzy and Kayatica are quite a bit far behind, have some work to do amongst themselves. Kayatica looks like he's picked up another penalty, unfortunately. Izzy is currently claimed fastest lap with a 24.4. That's those soft tires doing work. Bongit is on the soft tires. Good catch, Komakopa. Ooh, I don't know. Will these soft tires make it to the end of the race? I know Bongit was practicing the beginning of this race, trying to see what he could do on those soft tires, how long he could make them last. They have to last 10 minutes, roughly about, I don't know, what is that? Probably about 6 laps? That's going to be rough. 6 or 7 laps to make last on these soft tires. That's going to be tough. All he has to do is get ahead of Astonishing and hold on to position, though. Astonishing on worn medium tires with half a tank of fuel. I believe Astonishing has the least amount of fuel at this point in the race. He sure does. Will he make it to the end himself on fuel? That's going to be another question mark for this race. Preston still with a good 2-second gap. Looks like that full tank of fuel is not going to bite him. He can drive comfortably and push those RPMs up to maximum without having to worry about it. Oh, a little slide coming out of the corner there. But he is still firmly in first place. Astonishing has Bongit all over him. Bongit desperately looking for a way around on these soft tires, trying to gain the advantage while he has it. Up Surtees and down the Pilgrim Straight, the Hawthorne Hill again. Can Bongett gain an attempt at inside position? This is definitely a difficult track to find an area to pass on. There are not too many opportunities. Every corner is so fast with such light braking that there's really not too many opportunities to outbrake your opponent. Yes, the GTD rivals, these guys saw a lot of each other during the season, and they're seeing a lot of each other again today. Both just off into the grass, kicking up the dirt. Great racing here from Bongett and Astonishing. Astonishing goes just a little bit wide. Bongett is just desperately looking for that opportunity to claim the inside through one of these corners. Bongett going a bit wide there, probably not what he really wanted to do. Trying to gauge how Astonishing is going to take these corners, looking for any possibility of a mistake. Astonishing hugs that inside, protecting, making sure Bongett cannot find any opportunity to slip in. Bongett desperately trying to find a maneuver around the outside. Just cannot make it stick. With Preston having such a strong lead at this point in the race, this really is the battle for GTD Pro at this point. Whoever takes that second place position will be promoted to GTD Pro, with Izzy and Chaotica currently far enough back that they are not looking to compete at the moment. Izzy is not terribly far back, is still in the running if these two drivers manage to have a wreck and knock one another off. Izzy could sneak up and grab a position here, only being 2.5 seconds back. Astonishing off into the grass again. Trying to hold on. Oh, through Sterling's. Oh, a little bit of contact as they go side by side through Sterling's. Bongett has just barely grabbed it. Looks like he had the faster exit on the soft tires. Side by side. Through Clark's curve again. Astonishing has inside position and regains second place. Fantastic maneuver by Astonishing to hold that inside line, not give it up to Bongett, and hold second place. It could have been that Bongett may have given him the position back after the contact in Sterling's. Not sure. These two drivers being as respectful as they possibly can into Druids. Bongett almost had inside positioning again there, but Astonishing closed the door on him. Hawthorne's Hill Bend up and coming up to Surtees again. Yeah, I agree. I think Bongett staying out may have cost him those precious seconds that he lost on those slow laps. At least 3 slower laps than he was normally running, trying to stay out and make it last. I fully agree with Larry on his sentiment there. Bongett may have given the position away. Trying to be sneaky, trying to think these soft tires would give him the win here, but he's just not been able to find a way past Astonishing, who's been able to just protect that inside corner. Let's see how Astonishing's tires are holding up. Pretty well, about halfway on that front left tire. About 5 laps to go. They are bumper to bumper. Oh, and Izzy has managed to also be part of the conversation. All the battling between Astonishing and Bongett has allowed Izzy to catch the pack. Now we have a 3-way battle for second place. Anything could happen. There could be a dive down the corner. There could be a bump and run. Yeah, Preston has gotten up a 6-second lead. He is well on to secure his position here for GTD Pro. He is not going to give it up. Right, Preston just has all the advantage. All the battling that's going out behind him is just giving Preston an easy victory here. The 3-way battle for second place is still on. This is going to come down to the wire as we hit 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Chaotica is also starting to be part of the conversation again. He's only 4 seconds behind. You can see him there every single time the camera pans out. There he is, just coming around, just barely missed him. This 3-way battle between Astonishing, Bongett, and Izzy is amazing racing. Bongett's soft tires are beginning to fade. They're about on par with Astonishing's medium at this point. Izzy's mediums are probably the best tire on the track at the moment. The real question, will Astonishing have the fuel to make it? He's the car who put in the least amount of fuel, remember. Bongett trying to take him on the outside of Sterling's. Looks like he has just completed the maneuver. He has the inside position coming into Clark's curve. Can he hold on? Astonishing trying to take him back on the outside. Bongett's going to say no to that. He's got the inside position. Balling it into second place. Astonishing trying to hold and grab that inside position into turn 1. Balling it says, no, sir. Oh, no. Balling it off into the dirt. Astonishing regains second, and Izzy takes third. Balling it into fourth. Let's see if we can see what happened there. To Balling it. Just couldn't hold the corner, way off into the corner. Those soft tires not doing him any favors. Loses 2 positions. Heartache for Astonishing. Or sorry, for Balling it, as Astonishing now has second place with Izzy fighting for him. Both on the medium tires. Astonishing's tires are just a little bit more worn than Izzy's. Izzy is known to be a fairly aggressive driver. He may try to make a dive maneuver here at any point. Astonishing really has to guard those inside positions on these corners, make sure that Izzy cannot steal it away from him. Balling it has managed to still remain part of the conversation, even after going into the dirt. We got 2 minutes left. We got 2 laps left. Will all these drivers be able to make it? Is he trying to make a move out there? Oh, and Izzy loses it. Oh my goodness. And Kayatica takes 4th place. Izzy down into 5th. What happened there for Izzy? Coming through the corners, he was following Astonishing here. It looks like he tries to take Clark's curve wide. He tries to, oh man, just gets a little loose, gets the wiggles and into last place. But Kayatica has moved into 3rd, Balling it down into 4th. What happened to Balling it there? Oh, he was already in 4th, I guess. But Kayatica has made the comeback into 3rd. Now he is going to be biting at Astonishing's heels for these last 2 laps. Balling it down into 4th. Izzy down into 5th. Preston with a 9-second lead. All he has to do is just keep on pace and keep his nose pointed forward, and Preston has this locked in. Astonishing holds on to 2nd place. Well, Balling it has taken 3rd place again, somehow overcoming a Kayatica. What happened there? Oh, looks like I missed that too. Kayatica must have had trouble through the back section of the track. Balling it regained 3rd position. I'm sorry, I'm just missing all the accidents and overtakes today. It's happening so fast and furious, I just cannot keep up. We're on to the final lap now with 30 seconds remaining. Preston, 10 seconds in the lead. Astonishing, just barely. Balling it off the track again. Kayatica has the half-second penalty too. It is anybody's race still here on the final lap. Astonishing gets a little loose coming out of that corner, but still has a strong 2nd place. Kayatica up into 3rd, but he has the half-second penalty to serve. That is likely going to push him back into 4th, or even 5th. The front left tires on Balling it. His softs are completely dead. Kayatica's are still pretty well. Astonishing is running on fumes. Does he have the fuel to make it? Remember, he was the one who put in the least amount of fuel on the last pit stop. He may not make it to the end. It would be heartbreaking for Astonishing to do this well and lose it on fuel. I hope he has calculated it down to the exact amount and doesn't have a heartbreaking loss. Izzy just edges out as Balling it in the back of the field there, as Balling it's tires have basically given up on him. Kayatica has to serve this half-second penalty, but he definitely has the fuel. Does Astonishing have the fuel? Running on fumes. No, No, Astonishing has run out of fuel. He has run out of fuel. Astonishing has run out of fuel. Kayatica is going to take 2nd place. Looks like Izzy is going to pass him for 3rd. And it's Preston and Kayatica, our 2 winners for today's relegation race. Thank you. Preston and Kayatica are the winners for today's relegation race. The pro drivers stay in pro, except for Izzy, who is going to fall back into GTD. Looks like Balling it and Astonishing are going to remain in GTD. Wow, what an amazing race. That was literally anybody's race up until the final lap. Absolutely outstanding, outstanding racing today. Chaotica, what a great race, coming back from multiple spinouts early in the race. He looked like he was completely down and out, over 10 seconds in the back of the pack earlier in the race, and managed to come back for a second place finish, if only because Astonishing ran out of fuel. Oh, heartbreaking loss for Astonishing today. But what a great run by Preston. Just a dominating performance. Let's get our final results. Preston with a dominating performance, finishing 11.5 seconds ahead of Chaotica, who himself finished about second, 1.2 seconds ahead of Izzy, who finished about 5 seconds ahead of Bongit, and then Astonishing about a half second, running out of fuel. Thanks for joining us for today's third relegation race. One of these days I'll learn how to pronounce the word. Thanks for showing up. Following this is going to be the live draft for next season. Have a great day, everybody. It has been a great race. Look forward to seeing you next season. I am out of here.